Hi, everybody. It's a few minutes early, but to be very candid, I'm in a hotel and I was having connectivity issues. And so I wanted to go live a couple of minutes early just to make, just to make sure that we didn't run into any problems. So we're live. Super awesome. If you have any questions, for heaven's sakes, let's post them. I have a bunch that people have messaged me before today, and I'm going to kind of go into those. But if you have anything, feel free to ask. If you're wondering what this background is, I am in Houston, and I'm in my hotel room. Houston's lovely. It's in the 80s. It's fabulous. But let me go into the questions I already have. But like I said, if you have any, I'm going to turn this light on. I hope this doesn't get weird. Oh, yeah, it's not going to work. I'll kind of hold these to the side so I can see them. The first one, and this is a really good question. This one has a two-part question, but I'm going to answer this first part first because it's going to take a couple of minutes. The first question is, what is the main difference between oxy bleach, which is 100% sodium percarbonate, and other products that are like oxy bleaches, like oxyclean is a great example. So the big difference is oxyclean contains oxygen bleach, and then it contains other things. In the case of oxyclean, it also contains sodium carbonate, which is washing soda, and borax. So basically, you aren't getting those high concentrations of oxygen bleach with OxyClean. So in a pinch, you could use it. You just have to use a lot, and at which point it's just not very cost effective. If you have it, use it. But you're like if you needed to soak red wine out of a tablecloth, you would probably have to put about 3 scoops of hold on, about 3.5 scoops of OxyClean in the bucket to get enough oxygen bleach to get that wine stain out. So that's the difference. The other thing is, because it has borax and washing soda, it doesn't dissolve to nothing. So you have to really rinse it out. Here's a question. Well, hello from Virginia. Oh God, I was just thinking about Virginia. I've got this. I was in Virginia a year ago today. I was in Richmond, and then I went to Williamsburg, and I've been thinking about it today, like how much I'd like to go back to Williamsburg. Just love it. So anyway, that's the big difference between OxyClean, something like OxyClean, and oxygen bleach. The other reason that I love pure oxy bleach is because it does dissolve. It's called the salv effect. It off gases the extra oxygen molecule. So after 6 hours, it's water with a little bit of soda ash. And so, I just like that it's that clean. I mean, you could camp with it and it would be totally safe. So that's the big difference. So the second question that she asked me that went with this is, should I be using gloves when I use oxy bleach? I would use gloves with like OxyClean because borax can be very, very drying to your skin. Now, oxygen bleach can be drying to your skin because it's pure hydrogen peroxide. It's just very concentrated hydrogen peroxide. I typically don't wear gloves when I use it. I don't need it. I just wash my hands and put a little lotion on. But if you have really sensitive skin, you might. But there's nothing harmful. It's just, hold on. Oh, thanks. Oh, yeah. I loved SoapCon. That was so fun. I forgot and left a big fleece blanket in the washer for a week. Oops, and it smells funky. What's the best treatment to get the smell out? It's funny because we're talking about it right now. I would use oxygen bleach. That smell is actually just sort of mildew, basically. So, you throw some oxygen bleach in and wash it. You might just wash it and it may just wash out. You could also throw in about a half a cup of vinegar and Let me think. I would throw a half a cup of baking soda in, and I'd put vinegar in where the detergent went, and then I'd put the soap on top, and that would probably do it too. But that would be my way to go. The other thing about Virginia is the peanuts. We sell Virginia peanuts in my store because they are the best, and I love them. Okay. The other question is dingy whites that are not bleached. You haven't bleached the color out of them. They're just worn, and they probably have oil from your skin and all that stuff in them. The best way to wash them is she says, can I soak them in oxygen bleach? You absolutely can. And you can soak multiple pieces together. You can soak, dingy jeans in a dingy shirt. That's fine. Honestly, though, I think the biggest thing that causes dingy whites is using too much detergent. I would cut back on the amount of detergent I was using. I would soak in oxygen bleach. And honestly, if I soaked them in oxygen bleach, I would probably wash them with no more than a half a tablespoon of detergent, a fourth tablespoon of soap flakes. Soap flakes, of course, being my favorite, but just a tiny bit, just enough to get a little surfactant in there, but you kind of want that stuff to wash out of them. That was a big thing with laundry stripping. It was getting the extra stuff out. Texas is a big state, and it's wonderful. I was in San Antonio 2 weeks ago and loved that. I love Houston. I love any time I have the opportunity to come to Houston. I love it. I love barbecue, and they have barbecue for breakfast. This morning I had breakfast burritos. Genius. Okay. Oh, I love this question. It was fun. My husband's a diesel mechanic. What can I do to his clothes? And I got somebody else who said, my daughter works in a pizza shop. What can I do to her? What can she do to her clothes? And it's really funny because these things have something in common. It's just a lot of embedded oil. Now you could, they both have tried the vinegar thing, and they just have a lot of oil in them. They're just not getting enough vinegar, and I get it. You'd almost have to just soak them in a gallon of vinegar to make it work. This is not the greenest solution. Greenest. It's a greener solution because it's better than the alternative of letting the garment go. Wash them in sudsy ammonia. Use about a half a cup of sudsy ammonia. Wash them, and all that oil or whatever will wash right out. Oh, geez. Ooh, my pores are not good for that. But the other thing about that is, with the diesel, do not put it in the dryer, but I'm positive that you know that. Want to have dinner while you're in town? To be honest with you, I haven't been given my schedule. I don't know what my schedule is when I'm here, but you should email me because, I'm up for meeting if I don't have plans. I just don't know what they are. Oh, this is a good question. It's sticky brown substance on a fox fur. So it's not faux, it's fox. White fox fur, it's a brown sticky substance. I normally will not recommend oxygen bleach for anything natural. So no fur, no silk, no cashmere. In this case, what I would do is I would actually mix up a little oxygen bleach, put it on a towel, and rub the fur and rub the sticky off. And then I would take a towel of clear water and wash it away. The reason I think that'll be okay is because you're doing it on a towel and you're immediately washing it off. The best way to remove chocolate. This is a fun one. Thanksgiving or Halloween is coming. I would need to know how to remove candy corn, but everybody has their thing. So the best way to remove chocolate, spray it with vinegar and water, blot it, scrub it with soap and a brush. Spray with vinegar and water, blot, scrub with soap and a brush. The reason you do it that way is you spray with the vinegar and water, and that cuts the oil so that the brush and the soap can attack the stain. If you don't use the vinegar first, the soap cannot get to the stain and you cannot lift it out. How do I get acrylic paint out of a duvet? Okay, here you go. You soak it for 24 hours. You change the water, you soak it for 24 hours, you change the water, you soak it for 24 hours. So you do it 3 days in a row. After the third day, you scrape off whatever paint you can, and then you scrub it with soap and a brush. And you've got to do it just like that. It's there's actually, time is an ingredient on this one, and that will do it. How do I get BO and deodorant out of synthetic fabrics? You're going to love oxygen bleach because that is the only thing that will do it. The reason it works is because synthetic fabrics are hydrophobic and oleophilic. They hate oil, they hate water, they love oil. So they love all the oil in the deodorant, they love the oil in your skin, and they love the sweat and bacteria that gets trapped in that oil. So what you need to do is you need to use oxygen bleach because it breaks that oil down and then it will wash away. So oxygen bleach, wash it, don't put those in the dryer and you'll be good to go. Okay. I got a question and this, and I will answer anything. This is proof, but some of you are going to laugh when you see it or when you hear it. How do I remove stains from fabric softener? Well, the very first thing I'm going to say, which is don't use fabric softener. But if it's already on there because maybe you use a shared washer or maybe, you didn't know before, blot them with vinegar, just straight vinegar. This is not your 50-50, it's straight vinegar. Blot them with vinegar, let it sit about 5 minutes, and then wash it. And the vinegar will cause the fabric softener to loosen up, but I know that you're not going to use it anymore, so we're going to cover that. Okay. Let's see. Oh, it's a pizza question. Tomato sauce. Tomato sauce generally will come out if you just soak it in oxygen bleach. It'll also come out if you spray it with vinegar and water, blot it, and scrub it with soap and a brush like chocolate. Usually both of those things will work for tomato sauce. If, it's a really big spot and that's just kind of unrealistic, put a nice little dose of your oily soap, your stain solution, your archipelago spot remover, whatever on it, let it sit, and then, it'll wash away. Okay, we're caught up. So what other questions do you have? I will tell you, I made a video this morning about bleach, but I'll kind of give you the highlights. Whenever I stay in a hotel, I always check and see if they have a laundry facility, because if they do, I don't have to pack as much because I bring laundry flakes with me. I keep them in a pill bottle. I actually bring them with me anyway because sometimes I hand wash in the sink even. But I was in the laundry room this morning, and this very nice woman who was older had a t-shirt and it had bleach spots on it. And she was very upset because I think they had just bought it. I think it was like a souvenir piece. And we were talking and, I kind of said, oh, or something. And, she used bleach to whiten her socks and things because I think it's 3 generations. I'm guessing this was a grandmother. And so then there's parents and children. And she said, the kids' socks and et cetera. And I said, yeah, I know. But, really you could use baking soda or something and you'd get that same result and you wouldn't bleach the color out. So the video's coming. You can see it. But it's another reason not to use bleach. This woman had bought a travel size bleach, I think at the drugstore, in the little travel things, just to do this load of laundry. So it was an extra product she didn't need to buy. She bought it and then, accidentally ruined a shirt. I felt really bad for her. She was very sweet and I could tell she was really disappointed. I don't know if the shirt was hers, and she bought it, or if it was belonged to one of the kids or something. But I could tell she was very disappointed and, just don't get the heartbreak of bleach. Don't need it. Okay. Let's see. An old Japanese doll that I washed, but now it has stains, maybe water stains, Don't know how to get those out. I have hard water. I put vinegar in with everything. What should I use? Detergent, bleach, cup, softener cup, somewhere else. The hard water, you can throw baking soda in. I use baking soda um, for hard water, and I would throw it in on top of the clothes. If you want to use vinegar, I'd put it in where the fabric softener goes. Um, the doll with the water spots, you need a little oxygen bleach. If you washed it and there's water spots, what that is it's actually the color has, or the fabric has oxidized, which is sort of the fabric version of rust, and it'll come right out. Oxygen bleach will take it right out. I do this all the time with like baptismal gowns. How do you remove cat urine from a couch? Great question. Um, you use oxygen bleach. It's like, it's funny. It seems like when I do these, there's always like one product we're going to use over and over. But here it is. It's oxygen bleach. What you do is you mix the oxygen bleach up about 2 tablespoons to a quart of hot water. You sponge it on. You let it sit a few minutes, and then you take a towel with clear water and you sponge that off, and then you blot it dry. I will say this is much, much easier if you use a rug shampooer. Um, you know, it's much, much easier. You just put the solution in a rug shampooer and do it. It's super simple. Oh, you already use washing soda. Oh, great. Then I would put the vinegar in where fabric softener goes. And that will give you kind of want them, you want that timed release. If you put everything in together, vinegar will actually cancel the baking. There's a chemical reaction that occurs, and sometimes you want that. Sometimes you want that for stain removal, but when you're wanting it for hard water, you don't. So you put the baking soda in with the wash. The vinegar is going to go in with the fabric softener and kind of lift the rest out. And by the way, if you have hard water and you're not using color catchers, I would sure as heck try them. You can get them at the grocery store. They're color catchers or color grabbers, depending on where you buy them. And I would pick those up because I think you will love them. So, what other questions do we have? We got a couple more minutes. I told you about the bleach. That video will come out tomorrow in the email. There's two emails. There's two videos tomorrow. There's that one, and there's some fall things in the store that I love, both of which I think are fun. If the other thing that's in there, and I'm just going to throw it out to you, if you have pre-ordered the new book, House Love, go on my website and sign up for that pre-order download because the download's really good and the first little chunk applies to Halloween. So you'll get some tips to kind of get you through the next week. How do I get oil out of untreated suede? Okay, this is tough. Tough. Here's your best guess, or your best chance. Cover it with cornstarch, and it has to be cornstarch. Let it sit like overnight as long as you can. Usually the oil will lift up into the cornstarch. At that point, that's officially what you can do. And the reason is the problem with leather and suede, especially suede, is we don't know how it was tanned or how it was dyed. There's no industry standard for those things. I would then, if it were me and it looked terrible and I had to do something, a lot of times the cornstarch will make it okay. If I still needed something, I would put some vodka. I would probably only use vodka. I'd put some vodka on a cloth and start dabbing at it. The reason I would use vodka is you don't have to rinse it because it evaporates at 100%. You could use something else, but that would probably give you the best results. It's 1:45. Okay. But thank you for downloading the download or pulling up the download. I hope you love it. Yeah, it has some fun fall tips. I mean, there's tips all the way through. It's going to be applicable all the way through Christmas and really all the time. It's just we thought it would be fun to make the tips like tips for Halloween, tips for Thanksgiving, tips for winter holidays. But they all work all the time, of course. And there's a great popcorn ball recipe in there, which I'm going to make those when I get home. I've been thinking about them like crazy. I can't wait to get your new book. I'm going to tell you, I just read the audiobook 2 weeks ago, and reading it, I'm really happy with it. I think Karen and I kind of knocked it out of the park. So I hope you love it. So that being said, I hope everybody has a great week. I hope you have a great weekend. If you're around Houston, come by the home show. It's at Energy Park. Otherwise, we'll talk next week. And if you didn't, if you have a question and you didn't get it answered, or I hope I answered it. If you have a question now, or you're watching this later, just put a question down in the comments and I'll answer it next week. Everybody have a great week. Bye.